Women in Primerica invites you to prepare, inspire, and promote as we begin our first in a series of PIP Chats. And now, please welcome Senior Vice President Tanya Poe.
Welcome. We are so excited to be here. Listen, I think it's an honor and a privilege to be able to talk to you today about, some of the issues that we face in Primerica as women. When I came to Primerica, it was a very short 8 years ago, and I came having fallen back on life. I used to be a school teacher, and I taught high school for 10 years. I have a master's degree in education. I had become a probation officer, but life was really just taking a bad toll on me, as it does a lot of people that look for something different. That's part of the reason why the business looks so attractive to you, because you get to a point where you're like, I need something else. I need something different. There's something out there for me. And so that's where I was. I had a 2-year-old, so I came here as a single mom. And I had to really learn my worth. What I did know at the time was that although I had experienced some great things that went on in life and had a great roller coaster, and I had to know what my worth was when I came. So when I was approached with the Primerica opportunity, I didn't take it as serious at first. It was just, I need to, see what I can do. Can I earn some extra income? How, much can I do here? And as I plugged in, which is extremely important to always plug in, my mentors, Neil and Victoria Gerfine, were awesome in not making me feel like I was, because I wasn't a couple, that there was no one else for me to lean on. They were my support system. So they did an awesome job at that. So it made me very comfortable with being a single woman in the business. And, what I learned in the business in the very beginning was that it didn't matter that I didn't have a partner. What mattered was that the will that I had to fight and move on and keep going. So as I transitioned through the business, it took me about 7 months to get a promotion. I really started to see what the business could do for me. I was still working as a probation officer, and I was earning great part-time money that was comparable to what I was doing on my full-time job. So instantly, I saw that there was a space for me to be independent and leave my job. And I think that sometimes we don't work hard enough while we still have the job to see it. So we don't buy into the fact that we can be independent on our own without a boss. And so once I bought into that, I let go. And everyone told me that you're crazy, you'll be back. I did go back. I went back and I recruited a lot of people. And right, and some of which my first regional vice president, she was one that I recruited. And she's, a $200,000 earner today. One of my replacements, I went back and got him, and he's over $100,000 today. So these people are grateful that I actually went back. But when I went back, I felt good. I knew what my worth was. And I started having different conversations with people. I started understanding people really don't know. People, whether it's women or men, don't really understand their worth. They do not understand that they do not have to have a boss. They do not understand that they can make money on their own. They do not understand, even if it just means replacing what you make on your job. So many people want to say, yeah, we want to go big. That's great, we do. But at the end of the day, if you could be comfortable making what you make now on your job, but you don't have to ask for those days off. You don't have to ask, can I have an extended vacation? You don't have to worry about if you get sick, do I have to go to work anyway because I'm sick and I know I need to save those days for when I need to have off on my vacation. You don't have to worry about, my daughter just turned 10 and she had the time of her life at, her party cost, a lot, okay? And last year, she turned 9, we were in New York and New Jersey. And so the things that she does today is because I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid to do more. I wasn't afraid to get outside the box. I knew my worth, which is now I'm raising a daughter. So she's going to act different, think different, and be different automatically because she's being raised in a home where there are no restrictions. We do what we want, when we want, and how we want. And I think, more is caught than taught. And for women, our biggest thing is our children, right? We're just like, my kids, my kids. And I think that sometimes we struggle in the beginning of the business with, okay, how can I be this strong businesswoman, but I intend to be a mom? How do I balance the two? But it's funny because I was talking in the green room, Cheryl, and we're talking about, men don't think that way. They don't go to work and say, how can I be this powerful CEO, but I still have to be a dad? We just do it, It just happens. So we don't have to struggle with that. I know that, yes, I do things in the business and I'm at a certain level, but to my daughter, I'm still just Tanya. I'm mommy to her. She doesn't care about, if someone wants a picture. She doesn't care about if someone wants to talk to me about how to get someone off to a fast start. She's like, at this point, she's heard it so much that she could probably get somebody off to a fast start. But you want that, though. You want to raise your children around the business, because the unfortunate thing is you can't raise your children around a job. You can't. They don't know. They don't get to see what you do. They don't get to feel good. All they know is mommy's always gone. That's all they know. They don't get to feel pride. My daughter loves the fact that she can pull up some videos on me, or she can hear a speech, or she can come to the office and she can hear, people sitting on the edge of their seat and wanting to hear what's coming out of my mouth. You should want to build that as a woman in business. You want to build the fact that your children know what you do and respect you. It's almost inevitable that, when you raise a family, they're going to grow up respecting that their dad, brings home the bacon. But sometimes mama got to get some eggs together too. Put the eggs with the bacon. And so, I always tell my daughter, I say, I work hard to be a business person. Yes, I'm a woman, but I'm a business person. One of the best things that ever happened to me in this business, when I really realized that my hard work was paying off. Understand the hard work, nobody's going to give you nothing. Okay, you have to work for the respect of your peers in this business. And so what I wanted was to be respected by all, not just women. And one of the greatest things that happened to me in 2012, and I hadn't been in RVP for 1 year. And one of the greatest things that happened to me when I really felt like the hard work is paying off, Tanya, and you don't stop, you have to do more. When I got a phone call from a $1 million earner, which was the first person that ever asked me to go speak. And at that moment, I said, okay, the big boys are calling. I'm playing a big boy game. And it felt good because I'm a woman, a single woman in business. And so you want to hear what I have to say, which means I'm doing something right. The hard work, the long nights, the not seeing my daughter all the time, and not being able to put her to bed, it's paying off. And it's a trade-off. And sometimes there were times when I had to say, Tanya, is it worth it? I never questioned it to my team, and I never even really questioned it to my upline. It was within. It was what I had to do, what I had to find, because my upline can't tell me how to feel about my child. My downlines don't need to know how I'm feeling about my child. That's something I have to keep to myself. So I have to have a serious self-talk and say, is it worth it, Tanya? Is it worth it? What are your choices? If you stop doing this, what are you going to do? What else is out there for you? To stay laborful at this job? Is that all that you want to work for? So at the end of the day, I had to have a lot of positive self-talks. I had to read a lot of positive books, and I had to constantly be reminded that I was worthy. That not only am I doing this for myself, I'm doing this for my child. And it may not be just, I'm doing it for my child just for the income. No, I'm doing it for my child so that she can have a different perspective on life. So she can understand, I'm raising a daughter here, okay? It's very important that she understands her role in society and her role in business. I want her to be a businesswoman. Of course, that's what I want for her, but I want her to be around it. I don't have to push it when that's all she sees. I don't have to push it when that's all she knows. That's all she's going to know. She's 10 and she already says that she's not going to work for anybody. I said, well, no, maybe you might need to learn a little something, first. You have to earn the right to not have to work for somebody. You have to know what that's like, maybe. So, we have those kind of conversations. And, it's been awesome to this point. I've been here a short 8 years. And guys, I'm just saying, sky's the limit. I work very hard on my perception and what I need people to see and what I need them to know. I grew up in Compton, so I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, which also means that, there's good in the hood, okay? And it also means that, you can be hood when you need to be, but you have to be a chameleon, and you have to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. And I was raised that way. I was raised with, just because you're from a certain area does not mean you have to open your mouth and everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? That was far before I came to Primerica. But I recognize the opportunity, ladies, and I just think so many of us don't. So many of us don't understand what we really have our hands on, what we really can accomplish. We have so many awesome examples in this business of women that have excelled and are continuing to excel. And I always ask the question, have you to ask the question, why not you? Why not you? The same blood runs through everybody's veins. And if you are at a point in your business to where you're not doing what you want to do, it's not looking like you want it to look like, you have the power to change that. You have the power to change that, not anybody else but you. So I just want everybody to understand that, you know, in Primerica, you get to start over. You get to say, today is the day that I'm going to do different. Today is the day I'm going to recognize my worth, and I'm going to recognize what I have my hands on. And I'm going to push forward, and nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to stop me. So ladies, I appreciate you. I appreciate the time that we have had together, and I just want everybody to win, and I'll see you at the top.